Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our last evening here of FCA flag football. I hope everyone has enjoyed the year. It's gone by pretty quick, and once again, we've been really blessed this year to be able to have great weather every Saturday and be able to kind of get out and not have to worry too much about cold or hot or rain or sleet or whatever happens to be. So I just want to thank the Lord for that and just watching over all of us and keeping us safe too throughout this season here. So hope everyone has also been able to be challenged too, and challenged in many ways. Could be in football arena, whether wins and losses. If you've lost quite a few, how do you continue to push through and have a positive attitude and keep working hard and trusting that things are going to work out despite the disappointment of the losses. For some of you, maybe you have won a lot of games, but at the same point, there's also been some disappointments as well that you've had to kind of manage through and deal with, and whether it's relationship issues with coaches or other players or things like that. All those things kind of play into making you a better person and being able to kind of push through that as opposed to going around it. And so that's the one thing I've loved about sports is just the life lessons that come with it too. So I'm just really thankful for everyone and all their efforts that they've put in. Again, a special thanks too as well for the coaches and all of the time and commitment and care that they have put into coaching up the young kids and making a better life and a better community for us all here. So for this week, I was able to interview Tom Goehle, who is formerly kind of from the Hill of Beaver Creek area. He was a teacher there and a longtime coach for a while and did some FCA huddles there too. And so he's well familiar with that. He has since moved on. He's moved into the college realm and currently is in Nebraska. So we're going to listen to him and hear what he has to say to you guys. Well, I want to welcome everyone. We have Tom Goehle here, who's going to talk to us here a little bit for our huddle time coming up. Tom is an assistant coach for girls basketball at the University of Nebraska. So we're want to welcome Tom here. So welcome, Tom.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. I'm excited.
Great. Well, Tom, just going to go through some questions here kind of for you so you can kind of share with the kids and some of the parents here as well. But tell us a little bit of how you got in the position that you are right now.
Well, I think one of the things, I grew up in Minnesota. I'm from Southwest Minnesota. So the FCA flag football is near and dear to my heart. I played football in high school, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. So I'm super excited for all of you and this opportunity you have just to get after it this morning and to make most of the abilities God's given you. And I think that's really kind of the foundation for me and how I got to where I'm at. Is when I came to realization that God has blessed me greatly and with different talents, different abilities. I had a love and a passion for sports, and not only as a player and playing multiple sports, but then having the opportunity to coach and going from coaching high school to the collegiate level and working your way up to collegiate level and now being here at the University of Nebraska. But ultimately, it was making the most of the opportunities and the abilities that God had given me, and very thankful for that.
Super. Well, thanks. So, Tom, how has the Lord guided you in your steps along the way then?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is I wish when I was all of your age, when I would have been in elementary school and that junior high-ish age, that I really would have taken more seriously my faith. I knew about God. I knew some things from learned from my parents, but I realized it wasn't until college that God really doesn't have grandchildren, right? He only has sons and daughters. And so your relationship and my relationship with Jesus is different, but it needs to be our own. We can't live off of anybody's else's faith. And really what really helped me with that is when I could better understand that even playing football, even playing basketball, even in my training, when I did that with all my heart and I offered that to the Lord, that was pleasing to him. He loved being able to see me go at that with all my heart. And that was my offering to him. I'm not much of a singer, right? And so I don't know if I can worship that way, but I could worship in the way that I played. And now I can worship in the way that I coach. And you can worship right now in the way that you're going to compete in flag football.
Excellent. Well, my next question was I wanted you to sing your favorite hymn, but
We'll pass.
we'll move
I'll
on
call a
from there.
lifeline for that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So you're a coach and you've been a coach for quite some time. So how has the Lord used you to build into the lives of those that you've coached for?
Yeah, I think as a coach, it's just a great opportunity to see young people at their best and at their worst, right? And they get to see you sometimes at your best and your worst. And so you love them through that. And I think one of the things as a coach, you are a mentor, right? And so we're helping with X's and O's, right? We're helping with schemes, we're helping with discipline. And there are so many disciplines in athletics that translate to the Christian walk and vice versa. And I think one of those things in being able to help athletes know and understand that your identity, who you are, is not tied up in your performance. The performance is something you do, it's not who you are. Who you are, you're a child of the King. You're created in the image of God, right? And so to be able to separate the two and understand I can maybe have a poor performance, but that doesn't affect who I am, and it shouldn't affect my confidence in who I am. And sometimes those lines get a little foggy, and I think that's one of the best things we can do as a coach is to be able to help separate who we are and what we do.
Excellent, excellent. So maybe just kind of a fun personal question here, but what's been some of your greatest success stories here in coaching and sports in general, maybe?
Yeah, there's really a couple. When I think from the worldly perspective, but then also spiritual perspective, I spent some time at Coastal Carolina coaching, and we had a group of young ladies there that honestly, during the basketball season, they came to know the Lord, and it was really one of the greatest joys in seeing players that really gave their lives to Jesus, and then came to a point where the way that they played, the way that they prepared was an offering to him. And to see that change, to see that growth, and to see that passion, that was definitely one of the greater successes to me. Maybe on a spiritual level, on a more of a worldly level. I think it was probably winning a national championship, the WNIT national championship when we were at the University of South Dakota. We went 32-6. We had to beat Oregon in the semifinals, and then we had to beat Florida Gulf Coast for the championship. And just knowing that you put yourself in a position, to win it when everything was on the line, when there was greater pressure, and you hear a lot about you rise to the occasion, but I love what the Navy SEALs say, right? You sink to the level of your training. And so when your training and your preparation has proven itself true, once you've gone into that kind of arena of competition. So those would be probably a couple of the things that come to mind.
Super, super. Yeah, it's fun to be able to hear some of those stories, and for someone like you who has reached to a real high level within the athletic world, of being an assistant coach at a Division I program, but still in many cases, some of your greatest success stories are still how you've built into the people and see the growth that has taken place and that sort of stuff. The wins and losses, and winning obviously in general is a great thing, and it's why we oftentimes do the sport, but even more than that is how do we build into people. So really appreciate that perspective. So
Absolutely, and if I could take a steal line from Tony Dungy, when Tony Dungy and Lovie Smith were playing in the Super Bowl, the Bears and the Colts, they were asked the question by a reporter. They said, one of you is going to fail in the Super Bowl. You're not going to win. You're going to be a failure. What are you going to say about your God, right, that you serve when you end up a failure? And Tony Dungy responded and said, there is a difference between our purpose and our goals. And our goals are to win the Super Bowl. And one of these teams will come short, and they'll fail to reach their goal. But neither team wants to fail to reach their purpose, and that's to make the most of the abilities that God has given them. And that's something that we always have total control of.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that perspective, and thanks for sharing with us here. And we want to wish you the best of luck here in the season coming up. And go Big Red.
Hey, go Big Red. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Well, I want to thank Tom for taking the time to be able to speak to us and challenge us, and hopefully you're encouraged by his words. I hope that throughout this whole season, too, you have been challenged through all the speakers that we've been able to kind of bring in, and again, been blessed to be able to have the resources and the connections to be able to do that. So just thankful for that. As we finish up here the football season as well, I just want to encourage you guys to continue to think about other activities and sports within the winter season here, whether it's hockey or wrestling or gymnastics or basketball. Could be ice skating, I guess. I mean, a lot of different other kinds of activities that you might be involved in, but I hope to encourage you to be able to get out and to be able to continue to do some of those things and stay physically active, as well as just continue to work and be a part of a team and get to know others and just learn how to be able to socialize and relate and connect and that. And so also want to encourage you too in your spiritual walks as well too, whether to connect with churches, get involved in Bible studies, and other kinds of mentoring opportunities potentially too, just to continue to push yourselves and become better men and women. So it's been great, and it's been a great blessing, and let's just pray here to end out our season. Lord, just want to thank you for this time that you've given to us, and thank you for the many blessings that you provided us through these 6 to 8 weeks here, and just super blessed and super grateful for all that you've done for us. And I pray you'll just go before us, help us to continue to be love to others and grace, and in this time too of the world that we live in, Lord, that we'll just continue to build into other people and be mindful of others and be gracious and giving, and just speak truth to each other as well. And just go before us, keep us safe, and help us to have a great rest of the school year, and other sports and activities that we're involved in too, that you'll just help us to be able to grow and stay safe with that too. Just give us a great night, and thanks for all you've done. Amen. Have a great year.